Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for December 30th, 2016, the last trading day of the year. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. Right now, all we're really seeing as we head into the end of the year is some rebalancing and some trading range activity back and forth for the most part. 2240 is very important up here. 2270 is important up here. And we've got this little range that the market has really remained within over the last 2.5 to 3 weeks plus, and we're likely to continue to stay in that range. If we come out of that range, look for price to come back up. If we come up this way, look for it to come back down. We're likely going to stay in this range a little bit here until we begin the year. Then once we get out of this range, we're going to see perhaps a nice drive in one direction, and then that could turn around and just take it right through clean to the other side. So for example, if this thing were to break this range to the downside and drive downward, we'd be looking for bulls to come in and defend for a shot at really driving prices higher. So that's one thing we'll be looking for, is which way do we break out first, and then we're going to be looking for a big drive in the opposite direction. But for right now, expecting fairly quiet day, back and forth trading type of action. Key level right now that the market's really trading around is 2250 half, which is the previous week's low. Here's a look at crude oil. Crude right now, very, very narrow multi-day range. You can see for the most part this is the week's trading range so far. Very tightly coiled around the previous week's high price. Again, the fact that we're trading above 52s and for this long implies acceptance at these levels. That, to me, implies further overall strength towards 62s. That's been the goal here, and we have a couple of upside targets that actually point to 60 evens. So 62 up here, 59 half, 57, 91. These are all nice upside targets here that we'll be striving for at the beginning of the year, especially if price can continue to hold above 51.67 to 652. That zone right there, every time price comes down, I'm expecting bulls to look to defend. Any failure to hold that area could open up a clean return back toward 46.69, which is current composite VPOC. Here's gold. Gold here has actually found a bid and actually pushed higher through the previous week's high price here. We had an inside day the previous session 2 days ago after forming a rejection tail. The idea was that we were likely going to see bears defend there for a shot at new lows. And they did the first day, and on the second day, the stops got run above 45s. Right there, that led to a push higher, and we've since seen highs of 1164.30, and that zone right there pretty much is previous support. So that's an area where bears are looking to defend for a shot at rotating prices back toward 1130. But right now, this big wave of strength here is the first big win for bulls. So on the next rotation, bulls want to keep it bid, typically speaking at the previous high where the breakout occurred, or perhaps at the midpoint of the expansion day. So one of those 2 points could become very nice for bulls to defend for a shot at squeezing this thing further higher. Lastly, let's take a look at the NQ. Here we are. The NQ here, you can see a very narrow range that played out here, and then Monday we got a rejection, we got a midpoint retest and a drop. Here is a retest at the previous week's close, which has been offered, and so that implies more weakness back down, short term. But overall, we're kind of holding at these highs, we're gyrating back and forth. I would expect if we drive lower to come back and drive back up. Likewise, if we drive up, I would expect it to come right back. Right now, it's looking for the edges of the next range for January's market. We're going to see some breakout from this point, and then we should see some nice movement. But 48.80 is going to be a key level to watch. Failure to hold that level, generally speaking, would imply 47.19 with a shot at retesting the election lows at 45.50. Now, if there's any retest of this zone, I would expect bears to defend first for a shot at continuing higher. If this thing does push higher, we have targets to reach toward at 52.01 with a scaling target at 50.40. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session and the end of the year. We've had a fantastic year with everyone watching the PivotBoss Pre-Market Reports and being a part of the PivotBoss Premium Trading Room. Thank you all so much for your kind words regarding my book, regarding the rooms, and all of our training. We do a lot of fantastic training at Masters for Traders all around the world, and it's really paid off for a lot of traders throughout the year, especially as we've engaged you all through our trading room. So I want to say thank you all for a fantastic year. I'm looking forward to an amazing 2017. Take care and trade well, and I'll see you soon.